Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at AMP. Right now seeing about a 6-cent price right now, actually seeing a 6.71% increase in just the last 24 hours. AMP has continued to show a lot of strength in this last 24-hour period. However, you also see the volatility that also comes with AMP. The one thing about AMP that's kind of crazy is it doesn't really follow the rest of the market. So if we take a look at the last week, you can see this kind of 0.96% increase. Most other altcoins doing anywhere from a 15 to 50% increase in the last week. If we take a look at the last 24 hours, you can see that there was no massive dip for AMP. If we take a look at Polkadot, you're going to see a 24-hour dip that came from, about $35.03 down to $32.42. If you're going to look at Solana, same thing in the last 24 hours. $143 down to $138.14. They both had great recoveries. However, AMP did not follow that same trend, and that's one thing that keeps AMP special. It always tries to do its own thing for the most part. You aren't going to see it just following the market. Too dramatically, I should say. Sometimes it does follow the market, obviously, but not strictly following the market like a lot of these altcoins do with Bitcoin. And that's one thing a lot of people like about AMP. If we take a look at the last week, we've seen about a 1% increase, the last month being about a 0.9% increase, continuing to see, like I said, a lot of volatility. If you look here from 6 cents all the way up to about 8 to 9 cents right around, and then we dropped back down to 6 and dropped down to 4 or 5 and then continued on this 5 and now advancing back over to that 6 again. So obviously volatility is still a thing that remains with AMP, and I think realistically we're going to continue to see volatility through this bull market part 2. AMP is going to be one of those coins a lot of people love to hear about because of the crypto security and safety sector being so small and so realistically big in the future. I think right now we don't have much competition. AMP is going to be able to pretty much lead the charge in some ways and shapes and forms when it comes to the crypto space. Mass adoption obviously taking place. I do assume more crypto security as well as safety tokens will start taking charge as well. But, right now, AMP only seeing about $70 million in the volume in the last 24 hours. A lot of people just holding AMP and waiting to see what could come with, like I said, crypto mass adoption as we get closer to the mid part of the bull market part 2. I will say, guys, if you haven't really learned too much, I guess, about AMP quite yet, we're going to try to take you guys through why AMP is a great investment. Obviously, should you buy AMP here in just a second. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that as well as price predictions, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on to stay up to date. I will say, guys, if you don't know as well, AMP is an Ethereum token that aims to collateralize payments on the Flexa network, making them instant and secure. If a BTC or ETH payment fails due to unconfirmed or long transaction times, the AMP collateral can instead be liquidated to cover losses, while the vendor receives payment in fiat, potentially providing greater assurances to both parties. So as we jump into one of the first tweets regarding AMP, it's going to be announcing a new market pair for AMP USD on global Bittrex. So this is actually big. Came out August 31st, so it was, probably about 7 days ago. But this is about all we're going to see on their Twitter. They don't update their Twitter too much, not much on their website. So we're going to have to dig a little deeper to find some good news on AMP, or whether or not you should probably be buying AMP at this current price. I will say, guys, before we get started on that, I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research before investing. And I do want to jump into one little quick advertisement here before we jump into that. So we have Sapphire Studios. One of the coolest things about Sapphire Studios is building games with an economic impact. One thing you'll notice that's very, very big in the crypto space right now and blockchain gaming in general is play-to-earn games. And that's exactly what they created. So I'm not going to play this whole thing because I know I can get copyright striked if I do. But, one thing here with Gold Inc. is it's a promo showing you guys what is all possible on the game. So a lot of options, a lot of opportunities to actually, like I said, play to earn. And this is something that's become very, very well known in the crypto community altogether. So find and own claims worth as much as 10 million USD, games with an economic impact. So with play to earn already impacted small economies around the world, Sapphire Studios sets out to take play to earn to the next level by not only introducing a currency that is backed with real gold, but by making that currency grow in value as income is generated. This creates a growing asset that can truly revolutionize small economies. So, guys, they did do that, mix of traditional gaming and investing, giving the players the ability to make money and grow their real net worth while really playing a fun, adaptive game. So, Gold Inc. and GXB. I do want to jump back up, though, guys, and say, if you want to take a little bit farther of a look into this, maybe download the game. I do have a referral link down below that I believe does help you out in the game. So make sure to take advantage of that if you want to, get started. It's going to be, like I said, in the description of today's video at the top. So I do want to jump back into why AMP token will be one of the best investments. You see here, Aiden Lyle talking about this quite a while back, July 29th. So why am I re-mentioning this? Well, it's still very, very valuable information. So getting in early on AMP token is like investing in the wheel in 50,000 BC. This coin is crypto's ticket to become mainstream. In this article, I will explain the catalysts for AMP's growth, as well as my personal opinion on it. AMP was currently trading at 8 cents during this actual Medium post, so it's even more relevant now, being obviously even less as the market continues to climb up. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But they talk about many things ahead in 2021 that could cause its market value to match its intrinsic value sooner than most investors believe. For those that don't know, intrinsic value is speculative value based on the utility of the blockchain network that backs the token. So first, rumors have been swirling that Amazon will soon partner with Flexa, which is the network backing AMP. Obviously, guys, that was turned down. For the most part, we do believe that's not going to be true. But the big thing in here is, talking about this will help mass adoption accelerate as really, on those unprecedented levels. With AMP already at the forefront. Second, AMP has been listed on Binance.us, one of the largest exchanges in the world of crypto. There's a ton of exposure to the project. Obviously, investors are going to be able to invest on Binance.us very, very easily. Ease of access is something we talk about a lot on this channel. People need to be able to buy these coins. It shouldn't be too hard. You don't have to jump through, a ton of hoops to actually invest in something you believe in. And that's exactly what they do well at. And you can see here as well, Flexa and Incom Payments partnering up. So when Incom integrates Flexa into its 500,000 points of retail, AMP will continue to grow. This is not financial advice, but in my opinion, AMP is the best investment of the 2020s. So that's something that obviously Aiden Lyle believes in. And I think, this is a great post by Aiden. Kind of goes through some of the big reasons to invest. I'm not going to talk about all the other reasons he kind of goes into, but this was at 8 cents that he believed this hard and heavy in AMP. And, realistically, I believe at 5 and 8 cents, you're still making a fairly good investment with AMP. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the longevity, obviously continuing with, crypto mass adoption, security and safety in this field or, section of crypto is going to be, like I said, very, very important. So I do want to jump back to the crypto space and the crypto chart specifically for AMP, seeing about 0.0598 with about 6.57% increase in just the last 24 hours. I think as we continue to move forward, we are going to see AMP continue with this volatility. Like I said, by the end of the year, I do suggest that we are going to see a price target anywhere from 12 to 18 cents at the very least. I will say that's, very, very conservative. 2 to 3x is something that, should definitely take place. I think realistically, we could see much, much more. I always try to stay, like I said, guys, very, very conservative and realistic on these price predictions. By the end of the bull market part 2, which I do suggest comes later in 2022, maybe Q2, maybe Q3, maybe even Q1, I think realistically we could see AMP pushing anywhere from 30 to about 50 cents. So I think there is still a lot of opportunity for growth. I think it is going to take the max amount of really retail as well as institutional investors getting back into crypto for AMP to continue on this path up. I think a lot of people are going to utilize AMP when making big payments, and that's one thing that AMP does very, very well, collateralizing those payments on the Flexa network. So if you guys want to learn more about obviously AMP as well as so many other altcoins across the space, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on, as well as, guys, on Twitter. I actually do have a Twitter account, CryptoProfitYT. You can follow me there. I'll try to keep you guys up to date with crypto as well as obviously altcoins like AMP every single day on either Twitter or YouTube. So make sure to follow both. And I do have a Patreon down below because before we did do some ads and I'm kind of done with them. So all of September, I'm going to be staying away from AdSense on YouTube. So you should have no mid-roll ads. You should have no ads at the beginning, hopefully the end of the video. Obviously, I think YouTube throws some in themselves, but for the most part, you should have no ads. And, I will be hoping to get some support on patreon.com/CryptoProfitYT, trying to give you guys market updates, pre-sale opportunities, IDOs, ICOs, as well as low market cap picks. So you guys can also help support me down there in the description. There's going to be a Patreon link. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I'll see you guys all in the next one.